Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, welcome to another fantastic Ask Engineer. It's me, Lee Data, the engineer with PT on camera control.
Yeah.
And also the one who brings up these little things down here, the lower third, even though they don't take up a lower third.
No, I actually have another person controlling all these things. I have nothing to do with this now. No, I still got to do all this stuff.
Okay.
It's just like a dream one day to have like. All right.
Anyways, we've got an exciting show. We've got all sorts of
We
cool
do.
demos, products, tutorials, videos, LEDs. It's crazy pants over here. Why don't you show them what's on tonight's show?
Okay, on tonight's show, the code is IRIS, 10% off everything in stock in Adafruit store except for Eagle Cat and gift certificates. This is just physical things.
Okay.
We're going to talk about what was on the show and tell. An awesome, amazing night on the show.
We have like 8 people.
Back in Mailbag's going to stop by.
Back at the mailbag.
We talk about an award that Adafruit and Adafruit team member Becky was nominated for. We're going to talk about our new display Qualia.
You have a
Some
video.
news in the world of open source hardware. We're going to talk about our BeagleBone contest. Some Arduino stuff. Adafruit Learning System, new tutorials. Time Travel Tuesday, a look back in the world of making wearables. All the news that's fit to wear. 3D printing, all the news that's fit to print in STL file.
In
Hi, news.
acrylic or plastic or
Yep.
ABS.
Then we're going to have new products, lots of cool stuff this week.
Yay, new.
We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. We might show some top secret stuff.
Ooh.
All that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Look at us here at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
It's 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, not Saturday, so don't forget, we're now at Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Okay, so we're going to start off. First up, pay some bills. Iris is a code, 10% off. Everything in the Adafruit store that is in stock.
Including
Including what?
the Iris.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We have
We'll get to that.
We have a new product. Well, it's kind of the relaunch of Iris from 3D Robotics.
Yes, we got more.
Yeah.
Your eye in the sky.
Yeah. Let's quick pay some bills and talk about some things. First up,
Yeah.
if you have Bitcoins, use them now to buy stuff on the Adafruit store.
If you have a cryptocurrency and you can still somehow get access to them,
Yeah.
you may want to buy great Adafruit products with them.
If you got your coins out at Mt. Gox in time, you should spend them now. There might be an imminent collapse.
Adafruit products will not let you down.
Yeah.
Like
And
some Bitcoin holding.
So we're still
companies
taking Bitcoin just until Bitcoin is gone, or maybe it'll be around forever. But anyways,
Yeah.
we take Bitcoin. Next up, we still have our free thing going on. So $99 or more, you get the Permaproto. And then
size.
200 or more, you get UPS Ground in the continental U.S. That is.
We
what
will be
our special
mixing
is.
up the free goodies, but we want, because we've been doing the PCB ruler, which
Yeah.
is a good goodie. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We'll be doing more goodies, but we'll be swapping out different awesomeness.
Okay. And let's start the show up, Lady Ada.
Okay. Yeah, we're starting.
As seen on the show and tell, what did people show?
Well,
Well,
as
first
a
off, what is the show and tell? What is this thing?
show and tell is a Google Hangout where awesome people from all over the world come by and show off their project. You can show up as many times as you want. You can show up once. You can show up every week, like Tony Tacola. You can show off projects that are finished, not finished, in planning mode, not sure what you're doing, maybe even ask a couple questions from the audience. We have up to 10 people show off their projects. It's a half an hour every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here Eastern Time in New York, but you can come on from Google Hangout.
It's my
Anyway.
my favorite time of the week every week.
It is a favorite time of the week, and I now write down the list of people so that I can explain what happened on the show and tell, so you can watch it. And it will be live a couple hours after the show, or maybe tomorrow. We'll have it live tomorrow or something. It just takes us some time to get the YouTube video going.
It does.
That's a cool thing. It's actually with Google Hangouts. What's nice is that it automatically gets recorded, so we just have to, like, when it's done, we just approve it. Just, like, super sweet. Thanks, Google. You did something great for us. Okay, first up, we had Tony DeCola, who is a regular. And he's a regular on the show and tell, and he also apparently is a regular drink maker because he made a drinky bot.
That's right.
This was
Very
an
cool.
Android plus Arduino smart cocktail shaker. And he's going to register smartcocktailshaker.com as soon as possible. He used an Arduino to read the weight from a low-cost like Harbor Freight scale. So there's a load cell, and he uses instrumentation op-amp, which is a very low offset, high precision operational amplifier, basically, and uses an Arduino to read that in and then send that weight to an Android, because Android devices have like accelerometers, and they have gyros, and they have like compass, whatever, but they don't have weight sensors. You can't put a drink on the Android and it'll tell you how much it weighs. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be really good. So get on that, Motorola. Okay, no, but he connected this weight cell through an Arduino to an Android using the on-the-go cable, and then he's been working on learning Android development. So he wrote an Android app that basically can tell you how to make certain drinks. So for example, it can tell you how to make a White Russian, it can tell you how to make an Old Fashioned, and then it can, what was the other drink? There's like a gin martini.
Yeah.
If we went with the Old Fashioned, and then it'll say like, okay, place the glass on the scale, and it says, okay, good. And then it says pour like 2 ounces of, what's in an Old Fashioned gin? I don't drink Old Fashions.
Bourbon?
Bourbon? I don't know. I don't drink
bourbon?
Old Fashions. I drink lychee martinis because I'm a girl. Okay, and then you pour in the 2 ounces of bourbon, and it will like tell you, okay, you've put in the right amount of bourbon by weight, and then it says, okay, put some bitters in, and then put a cherry and put some ice in. And every step, if it's more than like a half an ounce of alcohol, it'll actually weigh and tell you when you put enough. So it's like a lovely little drink assistant. Anyways, check out the video, and hopefully he will be documenting it soon. What a great first Android project. Next up, we had Scott Perry, who, I don't know, did he design the Scott eVest? I mean, his name's Scott.
I don't think he's the Scotty Best Investor.
Okay.
That guy's last name is Jordan. I don't think
Okay.
this is the
Look,
same
I gotta ask. So Scott Perry is a fan of the Scott eVest, which is like this like pocketed vest
yeah,
thing.
those little channels for cables and
I
everything.
swear they've been sold for like 20 years. I remember.
They've been around for a while.
I saw these advertised in like Wired, like the first issues of Wired Mondo 2000. Okay, these are like old vests. They're not old vests. They've been around for a very long time. And they're used for like holding like iPads and stuff, and like cell phones and like Motorola bag phones or whatever. Anyways, so he modified his using our solar charger, our solar LiPo charger, and our LiPo cells, and our Minty Boost, and then the tin and the lovely waterproof solar cells that we have in the store to make a. I guess it attaches onto the vest, and it sits on your back. And then while you're walking around or hiking or golfing, it'll charge up your devices. And he lives in Georgia, where apparently in his area you just go around on golf carts, which is great. So if you're at Burning Man or in Georgia, get on your golf cart and build this project. And check out the notes. I think he's going to post a link to how he built it. All right. And then Paul Baudet came by, and he made a cool project with our bone conduction transducer. So it's a transducer that can send audio waves through bones, and he connected it to his wrist. So when he puts his finger in his ear, he can hear audio, and then he hooked it up to his cell phone so that when he receives calls, he can actually go like this and talk into his hand. And we did a live demo where we called him up, and it either worked or he faked it really
Very
good.
risky live demo, and it worked completely.
Worked really well.
Yeah.
Mike Vanderpool came by, and he built a couple projects. He built a 3D printed case for the Pi camera that we had, the Wi-Fi Pi camera. Nice work, Phil B, on that project. And also Pixel 3D. They made the 3D case. People love that project, so I'm seeing a lot of those. And he also made a Pi relay controller with Flask, which is a common web framework for making lightweight Raspberry Pi, Internet of Things controlled stuff. Nate Croft came by, and he has been using the Sharp memory display breakout that's in our store to make a watch because it's used in like the Pebble watch and other smart watches. So he's like, okay, I'll make a watch with this. And to do that, he actually figured out a really cool way to load in improved fonts into the Adafruit GFX library. And hopefully he'll email us. We'll post it up on the blog because it's handy if you're tired of the boring fonts in the GFX library. And then Phil B came by and quickly showed off the Picade that he's working on.
Okay.
All right, that was long, but
all right.
that was the point.
All participants in the on the show and tell get an as seen on the show and tell sticker, just like that one over there.
This one, but smaller.
Yeah, it's just like this.
If you've been on the show and tell and you want a sticker, just email us.
Yeah, and Lady Ada, how do you get on the show and tell?
Okay, get on the show and tell. Go to our Google Plus page. You need a Google Plus account. Sorry. Go to Google Plus page and find the thread where we say, the post where we say, comment here to get added to the show and tell circle. We have 355 individuals in the show and tell circle. We will add you as long as you just say, hey, add me. Because we have to have you in a circle before we add you to the show and tell. And then every week, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m., not Saturday, we will invite you to show off your project, show off as many times as you want.
Okay, that was a great show and tell. Let's keep moving on because we got a lot of stuff tonight.
Okay.
Pack the mailbags here. Every week we get letters and postcards, all sorts of things, and we like to read them. You know, one of the things, we have a weekly meeting called State of the Fruit.
That's
and
right.
we read the emails from customers to the entire team. We have a meeting with everybody in the company. We've done that since we've been here in the Adafruit factory, and there's no going back. So Adafruit's about 66 people now. If we're 6,600, we'll have a weekly State of the Fruit
That's
meeting.
a lot of pizza. Or dumplings.
Yeah, we have food and drink stuff, and we talk about all the things about the company. Everything that we're up to.
Yeah.
Everything we're up to. How much we're making, how much we're spending, everything.
The latest beer that's in the beer-o-matic.
That's right. So.
Okay, so, but we also read off letters.
Yeah, this one is from Alan. Thank you guys for excellent service. You're my favorite company. You guys provide great value, education, and fun, as well as the best service I've ever seen. Kind regards, Alan. Thanks, Alan.
Regards. Regards?
Yeah.
I guess that's how you say regards. I don't know.
Yeah. Next up.
Kid speak.
Happy Engineer Week, Lady Ada.
Wow.
It was Engineer Week. It's Engineer Week all this week. What do you?
Wow, this is a mangineer. That's that's a hard photo to find.
Yeah, we're trying to get guys into engineering. There's not a lot of guys who do good engineering, but we're trying to do it.
Okay.
It's a big effort in the U.S. right now.
Okay. Well, it's only 360 days till the next Engineer Week.
Next up, Adafruit was nominated by the Shorty Awards for Best Maker in Social Media.
Okay.
So this means that Adafruit does things on Facebook, Twitter, Vine, Google+, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, you name it, and it's true, we do. Now here's kind of a twist of
a twist.
A twist of.
But who else was nominated?
Becky Stern, who works at Adafruit.
But don't they know that Becky Stern is an Adafruit?
Well, she's kind of standalone in addition to being.
She is a force of nature unto herself.
Yeah, and also DIY.
Is it kind of like the Vatican is inside Italy, but it's a separate thing? I don't know. Or like Washington D.C. is like that too. It's like a separate territory.
Yeah, I think it's exactly like the Vatican.
Okay, we have Becky Stan over here.
Yeah, so
inside the United
we were
States
nominated, and we're gonna find out if we won. It'd be cool to see Becky or.
We can't vote though. We can't ask you to vote because there's no voting. It's a totally private. I don't even know why they bother telling us the nominations because there's nothing.
No, it's cool. It's cool, and you know what it means? It means everybody out there is enjoying the stuff we're doing. So things like the Hangouts. All the things that on Twitter, all the fun contests that we did. We had the
My favorite thing
contest.
is all the little animations we do. We do so many like animated GIFs now.
You like
I love it.
GIFs? Okay.
I love animated GIFs.
Okay.
I love it.
We'll keep it up.
This is a technology that's been around for like 25 years. I love it.
Okay, let's hit some news around the web, Lady Ada. I had this lined up to talk about, but now it's just getting funnier. This is an open source automated teller machine for experimentation and education. You put money in and you get Bitcoin out.
Okay. Nice Arduino sticker.
Yeah. You can also do something like this at home. You can stuff money into your computer and say goodbye to it, and that's kind of like Bitcoin too.
Okay. It uses a thermal printer.
It's funny this week because there's turbulence. And here's the thing: if Bitcoin can get through this Mt. Gox thing, they'll probably be okay. But they have, it's cool. It's a currency with a community. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. What's happening?
I gotta stay true to my hacker ethics. Anyways, they used our nice thermal printer, and I'm pretty sure they used our thermal library because I see some QR codes. We have a QR code example.
Yeah, this is super
cool. So
this is super cool. So it's an ATM that's also a
Okay.
All right. So moving along, right along. This was really cool. Someone they took 6 Retina displays and made the ultimate display. Absolutely incredible. And when we saw that, we were like, wow, that's kind of like our new Retina display port adapter board, Qualia, that we have. And so this is for that game. I think it's not EVE Online. I think there's another one where you have like all these spaceships and stuff, so you need the big resolution. So this person made it. So check out the blog post.
This is like 6,000 by 3,000 pixels or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
so wait, what has 6 Thunderbolt ports?
He had a special card that had the ability to do this.
It's like a PCI card or something?
Yeah, so check out the blog post, really cool. And then people are getting our Qualia displays, they ordered them, and they're posting up photos. So it's working out great. They have these great high resolution things. And and this is our Qualia display. This plugs into anything with a display port, and we're really happy with it.
I'm happy it's done.
Yeah, it's done. It works great. It's one of my favorite new Adafruit things. And we have a video.
Oh.
So I'm going to play the video.
Here's the video.
Upgrade your editing setup with Qualia, Adafruit's 2K DisplayPort monitor. Perfect as a preview display, this 2048 by 1536 IPS display is the same panel used in Retina iPads. This easy-to-assemble laser cut enclosure kit houses the display panel and the driver board. You can find detailed instructions on learn.adafruit.com. The driver board mount is used to support the back of the bezel, which also connects to the legs. Temporarily secure each screw with a small piece of tape. These corner supports will create the cutouts for the tabs on each corner of the display panel. Check the orientation and carefully fit each tab into the 4 grooves. Add the top layer of edge support that will securely sandwich in the display panel. Power and display wires will run behind under the legs. Carefully lift the board and fit each corner into its appropriate screw. Tighten the bolt on the driver board first, then remove the tape and finish up with the bezel screws. The backlight, power switch, and option buttons are easily accessible on the right side of the driver board. Power up and design in Retina blasting ultra-high pixels. What cool project will you make with this display? Let us know in the comments below. Got an awesome setup using Qualia?
All right.
Nice video.
Yeah. So that is the video about the Qualia display. We'll have more in stock soon. It's doing really well. We're really happy with it. It's like the only DIY monitor that I know right now. No, it is. You make your own monitor.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Okay. Next up, I really like anytime someone shares photos and things that they do with the Light Painter project that Paint Your Dragon Philby, who's in the chat, did.
Yeah.
Here it is.
That's nice.
White Knight Melbourne, that's called.
Okay.
And yeah, they took some great photos of all the things that they're doing with these.
This is actually fun. This is just like a color strip. It actually is kind of super fun to build like ribbons of color light.
Yeah. And I really like that people are starting to be able to do light painting because it makes an event or a group of people able to do something together, and you get these cool photos, and it's more than just like a photo or you know, like an Instagram thing. You're actually doing you're making a photo.
Yeah.
It's more.
Maybe we'll make a version that is like Wi-Fi connected or something, and we can upload an image. I mean, maybe that'll be a future project.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
All right. Next up, open source hardware. Some news in the world of open source hardware. Okay.
Okay.
So this week, I posted up on the site. This was exciting. Mouser has a section called open source hardware.
Wow.
Yeah. So in the open source hardware section, they have development boards, shield, accessories, downloads. It's what you'd expect. It's Arduino and BeagleBone. Those two are open source hardware projects. And they also
Why isn't our stuff there?
Well, we're probably negotiating with them to stock our stuff, lady.
That would be good if we could negotiate with them to have them stock our stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get on that.
Probably working on that.
Oh, then we should work on that.
Yeah, and so also if you guys want to see stuff from Adafruit on Mouser, email them because that helps us too. So
Emailing them to tell them to negotiate with us to carry our stuff would be awesome.
Yeah.
Do that tonight.
And so it's really neat, and they have editorial there of talking about what's the difference between different open source hardware projects. They have editorial about Arduino, the difference between Arduino and Raspberry Pi. It's very cool. More open source hardware going mainstream.
Cool.
So that's cool. Okay, next up. Speaking of open source hardware, the Lullsville Times. This is the Taz newsletter. they announced that we are stocking the Lulz bot, and so they mentioned the Taz3 along with Arduino, Raspberry Pi, or whatever your projects are working on. You can get a fully open source 3D printer, the only one that's out there, stocked at Adafruit.
Respect your freedom.
And they mentioned that you can pay with Bitcoin for a truly open source transaction.
Do it soon.
Yeah. So if you want to get the only fully open source 3D printer, we have it. You can get 10% off now, and free UPS ground shipping. It kind of hurts us a little bit, but 10% off if you really want to do it and really want to support open source.
We want to respect your freedom.
If you want to support open source hardware, especially 3D printers, this will be good. Now, here's the test for everybody, including us out there. If we don't sell lots of these, that means that there might not be market demand for open source 3D printers.
Right.
So if you're thinking about getting a 3D printer and you like this one, it might be a good deal.
If you like open source hardware and you want to support open source hardware, be sure to support open source hardware.
Yeah. So this is the
It is a lovely printer.
It is. The Taz is it's a very big. It's very big build capacity, which is kind of neat.
It's large and it's quite beautiful. I mean, like it actually is one of the nicer 3D printers I've seen.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot out there.
Next up, I thought this was neat. So, Lady Ada, this is the Trinky.
Trinky.
So we released the Trinket, and there's already the Shrinket, and now there's a Trinky. And this is kind of a good example of open source hardware. People see the Trinket, and then they're like, you know what? I want to change something, do something.
This one plugs right into the USB port.
Yeah.
Which is actually something I didn't do on purpose, but like if you want to have it even be smaller and easier to use, this is, you can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we're still in the open source hardware section.
Really?
Yep. We're doing our contest. This is the last week. If you have a BeagleBone Black project, take a photo, tag it, pound BeagleBone Black case, and you will win the case, unless you've already won. The only challenge is there's a worldwide shortage of BeagleBones. So people are like, I really want to do a project, but I need a BeagleBone. So here's the winners from last week. We sent out 10 more cases, so 30 altogether.
Ooh, this is like a fancy.
Yeah, nice keyboard project with a
recipe.
Yeah, test thing, and then you've got this
some
little
like SDR, like
this
RF project analyzer thing, or oscilloscope or something.
Yeah.
Some audio project looks like maybe.
LEDs.
LED.
Yeah. This is
Super Nintendo.
Nintendo, yep. And then this is another display with a humidity temperature sensor.
Yeah.
So the thing is, there's videos, but I'm just showing you stills. Enter, all you have to do is put it on Twitter, Flickr, any of those places, pound BeagleBone Black case, and you'll probably win.
We can't send you a BeagleBone Black. We don't have any.
Yeah. Someone was actually really, I had to talk to them on the phone. They were really upset. They didn't understand that it's not under our control.
We don't make them. Yeah,
they said, oh, you should let me buy them. And we said, we don't have them. And they said, well, you should take pre-orders. And we said, we can't. This is a good example. This is a really good example of why we don't do back orders. So if people are taking back orders for BeagleBone, be careful because there's a backlog. Mouser has 14,000 on order.
If you go to Mouser.com and search for the BeagleBone, they have 14,000 on order.
Yeah.
So like there's a big backlog in manufacturing.
Yeah. So
But the moment we get them, we notify everybody.
We only sell what we have for this specific reason because this is outside our control. Okay. Next up, some Arduino news. Don't forget, folks, Arduino Day is coming up soon, Lady 8, in 30 days. It's March 29th.
Wow.
That's right.
What are we going to do?
We're probably going to have Massimo on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Micro Monday. This is where we show a cool project on the Adafruit blog and in partnership with the Arduino blog.
Damn, is that an Apple IIGS?
An Apple IIGS that uses a micro, just like our next keyboard tutorial. And
that's cool.
Isn't that cool? You want this keyboard.
Yeah. Wait, that's only Apple IIGS keyboard only. What did they use? Did they use ADB? What the heck did they use back then?
So check out the project on the blog, Lady.
I gotta check this out. Well, it's funny because I had to figure out. You know what the hardest thing to Google for is next keyboard?
Yeah.
Like it's ungoogleable. Like this was created before Google, so they didn't realize that having a company called Next would actually make it totally impossible to find stuff.
And Google doesn't care about the case thing on the word next.
Well, nobody else does either.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I
ADB.
care.
Okay, this is cool. This is nice. So somebody used a micro.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Next up, Adafruit Learning System. This week we got a lot of cool things. Adafruit Learning System, hundreds of tutorials. The largest source.
We have
of
what?
tutorials.
400 tutorials?
Yeah,
430?
we got over 400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have in 1 week where we put in like 6.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So the first tutorial, this one is in partnership with the folks from Threadbanger, I believe. I hope I got this right. And this is Becky. She made a light-activated pixel heart. So check that out, and you can watch along in the video. It's on the site now, along with the tutorial.
Yeah.
Next up, you just released this one, Lady Ada. What is this tutorial?
This is a tutorial for our new thermocouple amplifier, which I will be showing on tonight's show, which is why I was like, I gotta get this finished. This is the Max 31850 one-wire thermocouple amplifier. It is a thermocouple amplifier, a lot like the ones that we have in the shop right now from Maxim, but it's one-wire compatible. So you connect multiple thermocouples on one wire. We have code, we have wiring, tutorials, examples, photos, everything, downloads, data sheets, etc. on this tutorial. It's all you need to get started once you have one of these thermocouple amps.
Okay. Next up, Time Travel Tuesday. We have a look back into the world of making and more, from patents to scientific discoveries to things in the world of makers. So I have two things this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. This week, 1836, Samuel Colt is granted a United States patent for the Colt revolver. This was a big deal that completely changed handguns and firearms and pretty much everything. This is a big deal.
Is this the first gun patent?
I don't believe it was the first gun patent. It was the patent for the Colt, though. And the Colt revolver, you could fire more bullets.
Yeah.
So
6 at a time.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. And
7 maybe.
And then also a big deal, we announced Flora in 2012, and
Wow.
it was in the New York Times.
2 years ago, huh?
Yep, in the New York Times around February.
It feels so much longer than that.
Yep.
But okay.
Miss Freed at Adafruit says she looks forward to a time when people routinely modify the style of their shoes, jackets, t-shirts, or handbags with circuitry. Then she says, Bill Cunningham, the fashion photographer of the New York Times, who has long roamed the streets for the latest looks, will have a trend to cover: LED fashions. And that is true. It's happened.
Now it's happened. New York Fashion Week had tons of LEDs.
Yeah.
I predict next Fashion Week we'll have even more LEDs.
Okay. Speaking of Florida,
Flora.
We have some things in the world of wearable electronics.
Yes.
We had wearable electronics with Becky Stern today, so if you want to
Check that
watch
out.
a full half hour of wearable electronics, you
Wow.
do that. I have some things that were not featured on the wearable electronics show because I try to mix it up. Don't want to have the same thing. People like to watch both.
Nobody wants to see reruns.
Yeah.
They
People-
want to see original content.
Yeah. So, some costuming. This is a homemade costume. The cosplay section is jamming. Amy is doing a fantastic job. Not only do we have the costumes, but how they make it and what types of things they use. Did you know that there was a Dune cosplay group? There is.
This is from like the 90s.
They met a while ago. I'm
old,
trying to
yeah.
find recent photos. I don't know if they meet anymore. But anyways, we want to celebrate this stuff because Dune is our theme for our Halloween
There's a
costumes
pretty
here.
good chance these people are still on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, I hope they're watching. And then this is kind of the
Whoa.
big costume of the week. This is a light-up Thor costume.
Ooh.
And you can see how the costume is made and all the different pieces and parts. And then last but not least, this project is making rounds. This is a 3D printed light-up NeoPixel bracelet.
Okay. Does it have sensors or stuff? I think it has a color sensor, right?
It might.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It might. I have to look at the rest of the project.
There's so many 3D printed NeoPixel bracelets that we can't even keep track.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Next up, 3D printing. All the news that's fit to 3D print. First, this one, so I normally do a jobs board post in the show, but the jobs board post has something to do with our 3D section. So this is from NRI, a National 3D Production Manager at the Adafruit Jobs Board. This person will create and manage the production budget, oversee 3D print production facilities, create and implement standard operating procedures and safety procedures, monitor product standards, liaison between NRI departments. If you're really into 3D printing, this may be
What's
the job
NRI?
for you. National 3D production. Yeah, you'll have to look at the site. Look, they need a 3D production manager. I think they do like some type of production for 3D printing, like you send like a shapeways type thing.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm not
But like
sure.
a larger scale. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this week's 3D printing stuff that I
Yeah.
wanted to share with you, I wanted to take you on a journey. Here's the
Okay.
theme. So these are all the things you can do with 3D printing in the world
Take me
of
on a journey.
gardening.
Gardening.
Yeah. Well, first, if you're
What
going
is
to
it
garden,
into spring?
first if you're going to garden, you got to print yourself out a little rake,
Oh,
rake
only
thing.
rake.
Yep.
Okay, hand rake.
Might need a shovel, Lady Ada, if you're going to do gardening.
that's
You get
cute.
the 3D printer, but you're like, I need to get outside once in a while too. And then you might make this is kind of beautiful. These are these little 3D printed sculptures, and you pour water through there, and you put little seedlings, and then the water drips out on the other plants.
That is cute.
That's kind of nice. Look at
Oh,
that.
that's cute. Okay, so you get a bunch of them.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, well, once your crop grows, maybe you'll print out these little signs.
Beets.
I got beets,
Beets.
and then I've got spinach
Cauliflower.
and cauliflower. But then the slugs are going to come and you have to make a 3D printed slug trap that kills them.
That's cool. You can watch plants grow and then plant growing tools print on you. It's about the same speed.
Yeah, yeah. By the time the slug gets to the trap, you'd have to, you can print another tool.
One. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's 3D printing gardening.
Is it all one person or like multiple different people?
No, multiple people. That's a nice theme.
Okay. That's a nice theme.
Every Thursday on the site, we have 3D Thursday. So
that's
check
cool.
that
Not
out
only are we doing like a 3D theme day, but now there's sub-themes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just doing costumes.
Next week is going to be people who like 3D printing and lawnmowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Little pulley thing.
All right. Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
Lots
we're up
and
to
lots
Pi
and
Day.
Lots of stuff.
We zoomed.
So, yeah, so we're on a Pi Day. Only have a few this week. This was really fun because people are convinced that Apple made their Magic Mouse case exactly for the Raspberry Pi because it fits perfectly. That's kind of cool.
Nice work. So you just have to laser cut out the ends or something?
Yeah, you can Dremel it out.
Dremel it out?
And then this is kind of neat. You'll like this. This is a Game Boy and a controller all mixed up, and a Raspberry Pi drives it all.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so lots of gaming in Raspberry Pi. And you showed, well, Phil B, Paint Your Dragon, showed a little preview of a project. Maybe we'll show it at the end.
Okay.
And then last up, this video is making the rounds everywhere. This is
like everywhere now.
This is like Dad of the Year award. So this kid has a dad, and he made this mission control thing, and it's just made with Raspberry Pi, and it's just incredible and intense. And
our translucent buttons.
And it just uses every product and everything, and it's so cool. And like, you just gotta watch this video.
This is intense.
Yeah.
I like how it's just like M2. Like, what is M2? I don't know. You just press that button.
More too. I don't know.
M2.
Okay, so before we get into new products, Lady Ada.
Yeah.
Code's Iris.
Yes.
10% off everything in the Adafruit store that's in stock. Get on it. Okay. You know what time it is, right?
Yeah.
It is new product time. New products.
Yeah.
Okay, Lady Ada, first up. Let's do this. This is the Iris.
Okay.
The latest from 3D Robotics, the consumer edition of their quadcopter. Now, they also, I'm going to go over here, they also changed their packaging. The packaging is a lot smaller, which is great.
Oh, wow. That's
this
like
is
half the
way
size.
easier to ship now.
Okay.
So, this is what you get, and this is 10% off. Again, this is like one of those ones, not a great deal if you go for it, but if you do, it's good for you. So this is ready to fly quadcopter, like ready to fly is in out of the box. 32-bit Cortex M4 autopixel system, U-Blocks, UPS, and magnetometer?
Magnetometer.
Yeah, sorry.
Compass sensor.
Compass sensor. Radio, telemetry, ground station communication. Brushless motors. These are 850 kV.
Kilovolt.
Yeah. Powered by rechargeable lithium polymer battery. GoPro camera mount. 10 to 15 minutes of flight time. 0.8 pounds payload capacity. This thing can lift. Multicolor LED status indicators. Complete APM, copter autonomous capabilities. Free ground station software for PC, Mac, and Linux.
This is the best.
This is the best one.
DIY drone.
Yeah.
That you can build.
So
that's nice.
We've got it. And we also had Chris Anderson on Hardware Hangout with us.
Yeah.
And he talks about why they took funding, what their manufacturing process involves.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, the 3D Iris. We looked around. This is the best one. So go for it.
Check it out.
If you like it. Okay. What is this lady doing?
Pi TFT Pi Moroni case. This is a case from Pi Moroni. They have the Pi Bow, which is extremely popular. It's the rainbow case. It's one of the first cases for the Raspberry Pi. And people really like our Pi TFT, which is sold out right now. We're getting more parts as soon as possible to make more. Trust me, we know that you want some more. But if you have one, you may like this lovely case, which fits perfectly on top of an Arduino, and it fits into this little slot. With there's an extra 2 layers so that the Pi TFT sits on top, and you can use the touch screen, and you can break off a little plastic piece to get to the buttons. It is just like totally lovely and perfect, and it is a perfect case if you have a Pi TFT and you want to use it.
Okay.
Ah, so perfect.
Yeah. Next up.
Calipers.
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 And you know what? These are great. And we have really high-end ones, and then we have these nice mid-range ones.
Yes.
Lady, maybe you can talk about why and what you would use calipers for. Because sometimes we have experts, but we have more beginners than experts.
That's right.
And
we actually have a calipers tutorial.
Yeah.
So this is the calipers, and they look about like this. They're about this size. And calipers are precision measuring tools, and electrical engineers need them all the time because they always have to measure things. And we have a pair of calipers in the store, the Mitsutoyus, and they're capacitive calipers too. These are capacitive calipers that they're not as good as the Mitsutoyus, but they're really, really close. These are Chinese-made ones, not Japanese-made, but they're like 90% as good, but half the price. So if you're like hardcore and you want the best calipers, get the Mitsutoyus. If you're okay with having something that's maybe not, going to last you 50 years, maybe only 30 years, get these. They're battery powered, they're capacitive sensing like Mitsutoyo ones. They do millimeter inch, and they have all the same, capabilities. They last a very long time on the batteries. Batteries do not die instantly. They last months on the batteries. In fact, I have a pair and it's still not dead. So I don't know how long it lasts, but I know it's at least like 3 to 6 months, probably more. I'll just show it on the overhead real fast, just what you can do with them.
Okay, great.
So you've got overhead. Okay, so you've got calipers. And there's a dial, and it's a digital dial. There's analog dial ones, but I like these digital ones. You can change from millimeters. Oops,
sorry about
box
that.
gone. Well, millimeters to inches. You can measure things. It's very precise. You can measure exactly how big my finger is. It's 0.319 inches. You can convert that to millimeters, 8.3 millimeters. So it's really easy to use. There's a battery case here if you want to change the battery. It's got a screw in it to keep it closed. There's a little thumb screw here. You can measure inner diameter, outer diameter. The tips are nice and pointy. It's a nice scale. There's also the depth gauge back here. Check the caliper tutorial we have in Learn for how to use calipers if you're like super. You can zero it because it just came out of the box. There's an on-off switch, but I don't even really turn mine off. I just keep it on all the time.
Okay.
Nice, great calipers.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Next up, we've got a flashlight.
Yes.
But not just any old flashlight, Lady Ada.
Yeah, this is a open source flashlight, which I just kicked off the table, so hopefully it's still alive. I'm sure it's alive because it's built out of a huge piece of solid aluminum. This is a crazy flashlight. I'll open it here. I believe it was a Kickstarter that was successful. And it's basically, this big, and it's really bright.
Is this an open source?
It is.
An open source flashlight? I didn't even know you could be open source and be wow, no, those photons are open source.
Yeah, it's an open source flashlight. I mean, it's a really well-made, waterproof or weatherproof flashlight. And I can also show on the overhead is.
Okay.
I don't think if it's bright enough to show. Can you adjust the levels on it?
Yeah, we'll try. Sure.
Yeah.
What would you like me to do?
Make it a little brighter.
Make it a little bit brighter? Okay, I'll try. I'll try. Yeah.
Oh, that's more saturation. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit better. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so I can see it. So you can open up the back, and there's a battery. And it's a rechargeable lithium-ion battery with a protection cell. And then here, next to the red mark, you can see there's a micro USB connector. And that's for charging the battery. And also, there's like an Arduino inside. And the Arduino is what controls like the pulse width and the PWM and what it does with the button. So it actually is a little microcontroller that you can program using like the Arduino IDE, which is kind of nuts. It's just like this really beautiful metal.
Open source 3D printer, open source flashlight. Live the dream.
And then
it's cool because
there's 3 levels built in. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
You can do more stuff with it. You can hook it up and have it go on and off based on a temperature sensor or something.
Yeah, you could do all sorts of stuff. You could change it. You can have it like slow fade up. You could have it like blink out like Morse code for SOS or whatever.
Really?
Well, my bike light for some reason does that. I don't think it's terribly useful, but
yeah.
So yeah, take it apart.
This is cool.
It's very well made. Oh, and another thing that's really cool, if you look at the LED, this is the LED. It's made on a metal. Aluminum PCB for heat sinking. So the body of the flashlight acts as a heat sink.
Yeah.
It's really a lovely flashlight. It's expensive, but it's like, this is a nice flashlight.
Yeah, but freedom isn't free. So. go with the open source stuff. All right, next up, Lady Ada, we've got these screens.
Yeah.
Screens of screens.
This is a 7-inch high resolution IPS display. We have these in cases, like a stand-up case, but this version is kind of like just the parts. So this is if you want to embed it in something. You want like a really nice screen for your BeagleBone or for your Raspberry Pi or for any computer that has HDMI, VGA, or composite out. This is a really great display. You can see over there is the controller board, which is the blue thing. It has HDMI, VGA, and composite connections. Also takes like 5 to 12 volt power. Then there's a little control keyboard that you can use to like set brightness and contrast and like blah, 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 and like on, off, etc. And then over there is the screen itself. So 7-inch diagonal. This is used in, this screen is the same screen that's used in the original Nexus 7. Not the Nexus 7 that just came out like a couple months ago, but the one from like a year ago. It's 1280 by 800 pixels. It's IPS, so it looks good from like every angle. It's super skinny, and it looks really good. And I'll just hold it up because I have it hooked up here to. Can you go to the full screen?
Sure.
Thanks. I'll hold it up because it's fairly large. So yeah, this is the screen, and then this is the controller board. And yeah, the screen looks pretty good even from like odd angles, which I kind of like. So like normally if it was an LCD or a TFT, it wouldn't look so good. Let me pull the plastic protective off so it looks even better. So yeah, you can see it's like
looks great.
Pretty sweet from all angles.
Yeah.
It's super high
HD.
resolution. Yeah, it's HD. It's true HD because it's 10.
Your
it's
HD showing HD.
1280 by 800. I don't think it'll show up really well on the overhead
We
light.
try?
But you can like, yeah, I don't know why the contrast is iffy. Oh, it's not so bad. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's
Great.
super sweet, and then you can change like the pixels and whatever. Let's put it on bright mode, soft mode. I don't know. You can change whether it's on or off, on, off. And yeah, this is a nice screen. Has a little adapter board on the back, and yeah, it works. We have it working with a Raspberry Pi, but if you want, you can use it with like any kind of computer or display that has HDMI.
Great. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Now my favorite part of the show. Well, right before my favorite part. All right, we got an owl. I mean, the owl's really nice. We have our product, but yeah, this is an owl. We have a felt owl kit.
Yeah.
We showed this on Wearable Wednesday with Becky Stern, and the reason why we showed it off was because this counted as a component for a project.
Yeah.
But this is a felt kit, and we're releasing a project soon that turns this into a fun felt kit plus electronics.
Right.
So here, I'll do this if you want.
Wait,
So
what?
this is used as a little trinkety thing, and Mike Barella worked on this, and so if you wanted to, you could it'll.
You shake it, it makes a little sound.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Can I show it off on the overhead?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, this is a little annoying. I'm gonna unplug it because it's a little squeaky. Okay. So yeah, it's a little felt owl kit, and it's actually pretty colorful. I don't know why yeah, there you go. It's a little bit more colorful. So it's got multiple pieces of felt. You get actually just, well, that's better. You get sheets of felt that you cut out and you sew them, and this would combine really well with electronics. So you can see, ooh, electronics are inside there. It's a fun product. We actually just think that these are just adorable, and a lot of people want to combine stuff like trinkets and gemmas with plushies. Yeah. And this is a really great little plushie kit for a good price that you can, because you're making it, you can stuff the electronics inside of it.
Okay.
And then
all right.
I can turn this on and toss this around. This would be really good for MOSFET. He'd really like this. Well,
Yeah.
is it a tilt sensor or what is it?
You'll have to figure it out. Oop. Okay. Let's keep going. Now, my favorite part.
Okay.
This is a new product from you, Lady Ada.
Yay! Okay, so let's look at the big photo. Can you go to the next photo?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a new breakout for the Max 31850. And the Max 31850 is a thermocouple amplifier. So a thermocouple is a type of temperature sensor that's made out of 2 wires. And people really like them because they can go to very hot temperatures and very low temperatures. So most semiconductor-based temperature sensors can't go above like 125 degrees centigrade, whereas thermocouples can go, a K-type thermocouple can go up to like 1,200 degrees Celsius. So it's like really, really, really hot. So if you're like doing kilns, or if you're doing smokers, or you're doing like, I don't know, smelting, and it's like really hot, they can even reflow oven, whatever, you'll want to use a thermocouple. A thermocouple can handle that kind of heat. But thermocouples have extremely low voltage output, like microvolts. You need to have an amplifier board handle them. You can't just plug it into an Arduino. And this board is what you connect your thermocouple to, and it will do all of the like maneuvering and management of that microvoltage to get you out an actual temperature. And we have a thermocouple amplifier in the store already. It's SPI based, so it needs 2 or 3 pins. This is a one-wire based thermocouple. One-wire based means the microcontroller has to be able to handle one wire, which is a kind of a weird bus designed by Maxim Dallas. It's a similar in one way to I2C, in which you can have any number of devices on one pin, one data pin, shared with like hundreds of devices if you want. But the trade-off is that you have to kind of like write this management code for one wire. Arduino has a one-wire library for it. I think Raspberry Pi also has one-wire support in the kernel, but not every microcontroller has it. Like, for example, I don't think the Basic Stamp does. I'm not sure that the Netduino does either. It has to be a real-time operating system that can handle the one-wire bit twiddling. So if you're not sure if your microcontroller has one wire, stick with the SPI version of the thermocouple amp. However, if you want to use one wire because you want to connect multiple sensors on one wire, it's wiring-wise a lot easier. It can also use parasitic power, so you only need a data line and ground line to every sensor. This is a really cool chip, came out from Maxim very recently, and we got our hands on them and we're like, this is great. So we made a breakout for it, which you can see here. And I have a demo that I can show.
Yeah, I had a couple of photos. This is, I guess, from
Oh
the
yeah,
demo
sorry.
too,
This is
right?
So this is showing it 2 thermocouples sharing one data line.
Here, I'll go
Connected
to
to an
that.
Arduino. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have the Arduino. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, so we have an Arduino hooked up, and one of the trade-offs with one wire is that it's annoying to level shift, like I2C. Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Like I2C, you have to have a level shifter for it. And because of the way one wire works, you can't put the level shifter on the breakout itself. So we have a separate level shifter down here. And there's 2 thermocouples, and they're sharing this one data line, which is kind of nice. And then I just have it printing out the temperature on this, character display that just killed. 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
What did you do?
I broke it. Live demo.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me try again.
Do over.
Do over. Okay. Where were we? Not dropping our electronics. Okay. So we've got this, a character display connected up to the Arduino. And then we've got 2 thermocouples. If I hold this thermocouple, which is the 0 thermocouple, you can see that the temperature is going up slowly. 30 degrees. I'm getting warmer, warmer. Also let go. So it's very easy to, like, one of the things that I noticed is people who are using the SPI thermocouples, they're like, well, if I want to connect up like 5 thermocouples, which isn't unusual, especially if you have like an engine block and you're trying to take temperatures all over the engine block. Thermocouples are the only thing that can handle that kind of heat, but it's just a lot of wiring, and it's like you have to kind of share pins. It's annoying, especially if you want to build a data logger. And one of the nice things about one wire is, again, it shares one data pin. And each sensor has a unique identifier with it that's burned in at the factory, a 64-bit identifier. So, if you have calibration data per sensor, you can store it with that unique identifier, which might be useful because thermocouples have a variation of a couple degrees per. So, that's my demo.
Okay. Good work, Lady Ada. All right, and with that, guess what that means?
Yeah.
You just finished up new products. Good work.
Yay!
New products. You did
It's
it.
23 degrees.
Yeah. Good work. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just a reminder: everything you saw that we have in stock code IRIS, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store, including a quadcopter. And if you're in the US, you can get UPS Ground for free. It's crazy. We're still taking Bitcoins until it's all over. We've got our free deals with UPS Ground, and our $99 free item this month is the Permaproto. It's kind of cool. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to do one little quickie thing, and then we're going to open up for questions. This is top secret. It's not out yet. I'm just going to show some photos, and we're just going to leave it at that. So this is happening. This is something kind of neat. What could it be? Working on it.
This is Phil B's current project.
He's in the chat. He's working on it. He's thinking about it.
Don't bug him though, because he's hard at work.
Bug him about it, because he
Don't
can't
ask.
answer. He can't answer about it at all.
Don't ask.
But this is happening, and this is so exciting. Okay. It's question time.
Okay.
Ask your engineering question, folks, in the chat. You can ask questions on Google Plus. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, can you do that? No, you have to do it on YouTube, where this video is being played, or on the Ustream chat. Okay. Does the Adafruit CC3000 Wi-Fi shield use the Wi-Fi.h library?
Probably not. This
No.
is our library. We wrote.
That's right.
In-house library.
Yeah. Someone had a question earlier this evening, and I remember it now. Can the Qualia display be HDMI?
No. It's just it's Thunderbolt, not HDMI. HDMI can't handle that kind of resolution. It's actually not in the HDMI specs.
Yeah.
So there is no way to make HDMI work with it. So it doesn't work. You have to you have to have a card in your computer or a Mac. All Macs will work with this. So if you're a Mac person, this is your lucky day. Usually hardware doesn't work with your computer. This is the one time it only works with your computer.
Okay. Someone wants to know, can I download Adafruit videos as long as I don't sell them?Ure. I don't see why not. I mean, like, whatever.
No, I mean, YouTube down. I mean, if you can figure out how to download
Yeah,
them.
good luck trying to get stuff off YouTube now.
If you can download it.
I wish they allowed us to have downloads. They used to have this thing like you could set it, but I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, would you recommend the 3.3 volt or 5 volt trinket for general purposes?
I think the 5 volt's more popular. Works with more Arduino stuff.
Yeah. Do any of the Adafruit folks play Minecraft and record videos to YouTube? Not that I know of.
No.
Can the owl hoot instead of tweet? Oh, that's from Mike. Yeah, Becky has to put that on there. It was tweeting before. I think he gave her some hoot stuff, so I got to ask her when she can update the
Hoot
code
it up.
on that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, I just grabbed off of Becky's desk. She doesn't even know that I took it. Don't tell her.
Any sources of listing? Any good sources of listing of microboard, ACC, and shields? I don't know what this means exactly. Do you think you know what that is? Listing of microboard, ACC, and shields. You get that?
Accessories.
Accessories and shields?
I mean, if you go to the Adafruit store, if you click on like
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi, there's a subheading called accessories. You can click on it.
Okay.
And for Arduino, we have shields. You can click on that, and you can see every shield we carry.
Okay. Next up, as someone who's not experimented with soldering, how do I do the fine tip soldering without buying too much equipment?
You need to have a pretty good soldering iron because it has to have a good heating element to get to the fine tip.
Okay.
So that's one of the trade-offs. You want to do fine pitch soldering, you have to go with like a Hacko or a Weller.
Okay. Does the trinket support, or can the trinket run the IL9340 TFT screen?
Probably not. It's
Yeah.
pretty small.
It's a
I would
trinket.
stick to, you know, it can control a character LCD. It's pretty much the limit. It's very small,
right.
and the Arduino core is a little bulky.
Next up, is there a plan to make a variant of the TFT Pipo case that's additional parts instead of a whole case? You can ask Pimeroni.
I think they can't because they actually have to redesign it because there's parts that were in the way, the extra header.
Yeah.
So it actually does have to be a completely new case.
Yeah.
No previous case will work. We tried and we're like, you can't. You gotta get a whole new case.
Okay. Next up, does the Yun support AP?
I don't know. I think so.
Someone said, Tony DeCola, who's very knowledgeable, said, I think the Yun can work as AP. When you first set it up, it works as an AP. So
Yeah.
Okay. What is fast enough to level shift 3.3 volts to 5 volts for NeoPixel?
I think in the forum people say that any 74 HC 125
Okay.
or similar.
Okay.
Any CMOS logic will do it.
Next up, does the trinket have SPI?
It does have an SPI module, but you can bitbang SPI. So you just use like bitbang code to do that, and there's examples. I don't know if SPI.h supports it because that's kind of written for the 328. But you can bitbang SPI.
Mike's in chat. He says, "Yep, Trinket has SPI. Uses a lot of pins."
I mean, it does have it. I just don't know if it's. I don't know if the SPI.h library is supporting the AT-Tiny85. I think. I mean, it does have hardware support. I don't really use it though.
Next up, this is can the Galileo board drive higher res displays?
I have no idea.
Okay. One more quick question. Any plans to release a Bluetooth low energy module? Yes.
Yes, but not based on the CC2540.
No.
No.
Okay.
We learned our lesson.
Lady Ada, what soldering iron?
Don't
do you
go with the
recommend?
TI version. What?
What soldering iron do you recommend?
I recommend for beginners. We have a low-cost one in the store, and then after that, actually upgrading to the Hakko is suggested. It'll last a very, very long time. It has replaceable tips, which is really nice.
Yeah.
A lot of low-cost irons don't. And then after that, you can go to like a $500 Metcal.
Okay. All right. Let's see if there's any more questions.
Okay.
And then, well, someone says the Galileo does not have video out, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it has a PCIe slot though, right? So you can connect to PC. I don't know. I don't know. I know that you can't like use it with Arduino shields that do graphics because it's really, really slow.
Yeah, looks like in the chat, lots of people like Hakkos.
Hackers are good.
Yeah, the 88D. Oh yeah, I'm in the store.
Yeah.
And they're on sale. Speaking of, I have to
10%
do some bills.
Oh yeah, do the code.
I'm supposed to do the bills. Pay some bills here. Iris keeps the lights on here. We have more lights now. You can tell. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store. Why the dislike towards TI? Because they charge $1 million for everything.
No, we actually looked at both, and KTEL will eventually write the article, but we decided to go with Nordic because the we just decided that their core was easier for people to use, and the Cortex M0 version of the Nordic chipset is extremely low power and very powerful, and we just really liked it. And there's other CC2540 solutions, but we wanted to go with Nordic. We like Cortex M0.
Yeah.
Compilers are free, like debuggers are really easy to get. You don't have to depend on TI as much. They're good people, but we like Nordic too.
All right, you know what time it is? It's time to give something away. What do you want to give away, Lady Ada?
I don't know. Do you want to give away one of these? What do you want to give away?
I want to give away the little board, the
little
board that you just did.
Yeah, but you need a thermocouple. How about the calipers?
You want to give away calipers?
Yeah, because the thermocouple board, you need thermocouples. Maybe you don't have a thermocouple.
Jeez, okay, we're giving away calipers. Okay.
You know, they've had these calipers, which are useful without a thermocouple. Because it's like, I don't like giving away a breakup board. It's like, oh, now I have to buy another thing.
All right, we'll do this. What are the rules, Lady Ada?
Rules are, if you've won before, even if you really need calipers, you can't enter again, only one winner per lifetime. You can't enter if you're going to just tell us to use the CC2540. We've already made our decision. We're not going to go with that. Sorry, so don't tell us that. And the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat wins this fine pair of calipers.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to read it off. You can type the name of what I'm going to ask you about in the chat on Ustream or on YouTube. They're pretty much synced up. So here it is. What is the name of the first commercial nuclear power station in Canada? Well, well, no, it's
Canadians.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of Canadian viewers. It's in our Time Travel Tuesday section. So if you just go there,
go to our Time Travel Tuesday and search for what is the first Canadian nuclear power plant.
Yeah, the first one that went online.
It's not Tim Hortons.
No.
I know somebody's about to type that in, but that's not it.
Yeah. So it's on Time Travel Tuesday. If you go to the adafruit.com/blog and then go to Time Travel in the category, you'll get there.
Calipers, and you can measure your Canada with these calipers.
Yeah. So let's see if someone gets it. You can type it in the YouTube chat or the Ustream chat. Either one. All right. Well, Lady Ada, we're gonna wrap up the show soon when people race to the blog. Adafruit.com/blog, and then you scroll down a little bit and you're like, ooh, Time Travel Tuesday. And then you read it real quick.
Or you're Canadian.
And you're like, is it Colt? No, Colt was the thing that you read. Was it Flora? No, that's another thing. What is
Florida?
The name? Flora.
You keep saying Florida.
Yeah.
You got Florida on your mind. I got Florida.
Okay, congratulations. X squared plus BX plus minus 1. Pickering Nuclear Generating Station. Congratulations. Email support@adafruit.com. You get these nice calipers. Congratulations. Very easy to win the trivia contest. If you probably read Time Travel Tuesday before the show, you're probably going to win. But then I'll switch it up.
That's a hint for people, but then we're going to change it up.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone on the show and tell. That was a great show and tell. Thank you, all the Adafruit staff members who out there, here and remote. You make this possible. Thank you, all the customers and people out there that keep Adafruit fuel running. Yeah.
Ada, Florida.
As you can tell, I've been up for 18 hours, so I can't say words anymore. So, Code's Iris, folks. Your orders pay for my sleeping pills, I hope, at some point.
I'm going to get some, what was it, NyQuil ZZ or something?
There's ZQuil.
ZQuil.
All the things without the cold medicine.
It basically is NyQuil without the cold medicine. You going to take some of that?
No, it didn't work.
Good times.
Yeah. Okay, so don't forget to email support@adafruit.com if you won this. It was X squared plus B minus 1.
If you're a quadratic equation, email support@adafruit to get your calipers.
Here's a picture of a cat. We'll see everybody next week.
Meow.
That's MOSFET. And here is your moment of Zener.